They'd been married 11 years, Mark and Ellen Carter, long enough that most of their routines went unquestioned. Neighbors remembered seeing them most evenings, walking the dog, waving, nothing that stood out. That's why people later said they were surprised by how ordinary everything seemed right up until it wasn't. On a Thursday in late October, Mark didn't show up for work. That alone wasn't alarming. He'd taken sick days before. But by the next morning, when his phone still went to voicemail, his supervisor called the house. Ellen answered and said Mark had left early the day before, annoyed about something minor she couldn't quite recall. She assumed he'd cooled off and gone to stay with a friend. The police were contacted that afternoon. They noted the house was neat. No signs of forced entry, nothing broken. Ellen repeated her story, almost word for word, to each officer who asked. She seemed tired more than upset, which some people later found strange and others found perfectly reasonable. Mark was found 2 days later in a wooded area a few miles outside town. The official reports were careful with their language. The cause of death was clear, but there was no immediate suspect. No witnesses, no obvious motive. When detectives returned to the house, they asked again about the argument. This time, Ellen remembered more. It had been about money. Or maybe it was about someone Mark had been talking to online. She couldn't remember which came first, only that it had ended with him walking out the door. They asked if she'd noticed anything missing. She said no. Then she paused and said maybe his jacket, the brown one he wore most days. An officer later noted that the jacket was still hanging in the closet.